Hello and welcome to the Dominion Championship 2022 Semifinal between Marin and Sangatsu. It's a European-Japanese matchup, so it's quite early in the weekend and commentary was hard to come by, so at the moment I am alone here. But we'll take a look at some of the games. Of course, both of these players are quite esteemed. Sangatsu, I think, is the biggest Dominion streamer at the moment, at least for the Japanese community. I don't know if anybody else streams that much and for as many people. And Marin, of course, was quite the legend for some time in the early Dominion meta, where wonky engines weren't played as much, except Marin, who beat people up with them. And of course, with few expansions, that was quite a bit harder to do. And I don't know if they ever were successful competitively, except the ladders that existed at the time. So happy to see him succeed and make the semifinal here. But let's look at the kingdom. We've got only one sideways landmark, the Desert Guides, where you get exactly 5 guide actions this match, because there's just importer as favor generating, quote unquote. Other than that, there is a village in merchant camp, there's draw. You can curse a bit, but trashing is also decent with moneylender and hideout. So this looks like some form of engine. Of course, importer, camel train are gainers. Treasurer also trashes. So there's basically everything. Payload is partly treasurer, I assume. There's also, you can play with merchants. Can buy more expensive treasures, of course. Camel train might lead you into a few goals. Do we have plus buy? No, so that will be the limiting factor here. There's also no trash for benefits, so the camel train and importer gains are the only thing that would be considered additional gains. Both players have a 4-3 or 3-4, which I don't think matters. I guess it does for Desert Guides. See a hideout open, because now Sangatsu can Desert Guide, should he choose to. I'm not sure if that's the best thing. Marin probably won't do that turn 2, maybe turn 1, but if I were to Desert Guide, I'd probably open moneylender instead, so you can actually have a bit more productive turn when you see your first action card. Hideout would lead me to believe that you paired with an importer or camel train, maybe silver. But the hideout makes sense if you get the importer and then you don't collide your terminals. And then I'd be happy to just Desert Guide any hand away that doesn't have any card in it. Oh, interesting. Wants to play the importer. So that's the first guide down for Sangatsu. Hits 4 again. Marin went for the importer moneylender open. I think both are fine. The second importer, so we will see some building here. Of course, importer being able to gain 5s. It's pretty decent. but you need some villagers to support them, which are kind of weird when your options are hideout and merchant camp. Especially the decision. How many do you top deck of them? So we see the first old witch now. I think the first one will hurt quite a bit, because trashing will be slow. Later, if someone gets a second hideout, I wouldn't be too happy about cursing anymore. But yeah. I like the sequence for Marin's turn 3 and 4. Yeah, I'm interested what happens now. Second old witch and the merchant camp presumably. Yeah. Oh, this looks nice. For Sangatsu, I'm expecting a desert guide here. Yeah, there it goes. Still not the best draw, but at least you can top deck the merchant camp with your old witch that is down there. So, not the worst. Oh, no, we are guiding away. Worked out pretty well. I suppose the hideout was always down there, so that I agree with that. Yeah, so now considering they stay trash, I guess makes some sense. Having curses is like early is not too bad when you can trash them with old witch as well from your opponent. Oh, there's a second importer. Okay. Not the ideal draw here for Sangatsu. Gets to play one importer at least. Gets the curse out. So this will be an interesting. Of course, Desert Guide isn't that great with top decking your merchant camp, since you kind of want to have that. Play that first with all these terminal draw cards. So I think I would be content with just trashing copper, buying a 5 here. But I could see the argument for guiding it away. So both of them are on their way to getting thin. The curses will run fairly soon, a couple turns. I don't think there's a justification for getting the pile so low that they are actually in danger, so I'm assuming they will pivot towards provinces soon after. Interested what this is going to be. I doubt a third witch will do much. Could be catacombs, could be gold. I wouldn't mind it too much. Of course, maybe you want the camel train first at some point, but the second importer kind of says to me that they're not planning on using camel train here. A second hideout. That makes some sense. There will be curses going around, and it's a village for the terminal draw cards. Oh, this one is a tough hideout. Yeah, interestingly, did not top deck the merchant camp last turn, so but yeah, found a hideout. So this is 5 for Sangatsu. Got to trash 2 cards. Only 4 curses left. Yeah, treasure. I like that. Good of my suggestion as well. Yeah, I guess you just play the hideout here and hope for the best. Yeah, that was the best, probably. The curse. Oh yeah, overall a nice turn. Getting to trash 2 curses. I think I trash curse here. Doesn't make too much sense to turn estates into curses now when they are gone next turn anyway. And you can trash them for free. Not quite another village here. Okay, place the importer. I would have played the treasurer, but I wasn't sure whether to take the key or treasure copper. I'm not super excited about more 5 costs because of the village situation, but here we are. So, yeah, second merchant camp there. If you gain the terminals, you need to pay the merchant camp tax, which of course isn't a great card, I would say, as it is non-drawing and yeah, it's a bit tough to line up. I'm expecting a desert guide here. Again, okay, you do the importer first. I don't know if Marin had a merchant camp last turn, but still did not top deck one. Okay, this hand is slightly better, but still not no village paired with a draw card. Also, I did not miss the third importer, and I'm at least confused by it. I suppose they're fine for the duchy points later, but I think you want some money to buy provinces. It's still a single buy kingdom. The duchies are 24 points, the provinces 48. Yeah, catacombs are pretty nice. Don't know if the trashing ability of catacombs will come into play here at all. Probably not. But yeah, I like them better than old witches. So the curses are also down to 1 now. Yeah. And yeah, who played all these cards? Of course they did some trashing, but there's not really money in the deck yet. So yeah, merchant doesn't do anything. Might be a third merchant camp here. I don't know, maybe even a silver, but I doubt it. Treasurer should get you there. Okay, also gets the third importer. I'm behind the importer curve. The meta around it, apparently. I mean, those 5 costs will never be bad, but I did not expect that many terminals that are just okay-ish. Okay, this would be a nice turn for Marin. So curses are gone. Not sure how many are in the trash. 8, so I think each one of them has one. Yeah, Haka brings up the point that this day trash of course means that you can trash curse to your opponent's old witch plays. I'm not sure if that's relevant enough here, just because you want to sustain 2 hideouts for a bit on this spot. I'm okay either way. I don't think it's in their kingdoms where this would be a quite a big mistake. I don't think this is one of them, but I see the argument both ways. Yeah, I think Sangatsu has a few more coppers because they didn't play with moneylender. Could be a copper trash here, could be taking the key. Although they both have a treasure now, so that could change hands fairly quickly. And 9 money. Do you play this without any other treasure? Apparently. Getting the first province now. Marin, of course, has to toss this hand, I would think. Interestingly, they're down to 2 desert guides. Sangatsu still has 4, which of course will help later in the... once you green a bit and your hands get less reliable. Okay, needs to top deck a draw card here. Oh, or just deserts them away again, so that was the last one. Assuming we're getting fairly clean now this turn. But yeah, here the lack of actions becomes apparent. Still one hideout and merchant camp in the bottom, so bit unfortunate, I suppose. Yeah. You could province here, gaining a copper into hand with treasurer. Don't think that's desirable yet. Okay, we're playing the importer again, so it's just 4. Yeah. So it looks like Sangatsu's definitely ahead now. But this is the kind of engine where the draws can really backfire. Even with desert guides, you can have a nice opening hand and then just miss on your first draw, so I don't think it's quite resignable yet, but ooh, that's nice to see, getting to toss 3 coppers. So here, yeah, we can just draw 3 coppers. One can also, no, that isn't enough to province, so province with the copper gain, I suppose. That's playing the treasure against the copper, so that's a second province. So I'm interested in what the importer is supposed to gain here. Dachi feels desperate. 3rd catacombs. So yeah, this is drawing, but you're left with 1 action at the end of the day. I guess maybe 2. Okay, so now all the states are under trash, all curses as well. Marin takes the key and buys province, right? So it's 2-1 in provinces. Okay, so now this is kind of interesting for Sangatsu. He has 3 villages in hand, but no draw card. You can toss them, but your shuffle will never be, or you would be kind of lucky to get a good shuffle then. But if you keep this hand, your turn could be over fairly soon, so that's a tough decision for me. Okay, so that's the one. Now it's the second for sure. So I suppose you keep this, but the catacombs wants you to find a draw card and a village now. Okay. Can of course just hit that, so that worked out. But still, with the copper trashes, it's not easy to province. Okay, it would be again gain a copper, gain a province. Don't think there's anything better to do. Yeah. To me it seems like Marin has a tiny bit easier time to hit 8 here. At least on these past turns it looked like that. Yeah, I would definitely consider that, but I also wouldn't have gotten as many importers, so I'm assuming there's some thought behind it. Maybe for the duchy pile. Yeah, Freak is suggesting not guiding the initial hand. Yeah. I think that's the nature of this kingdom, that, yeah. It wasn't that easy, but I see the reasoning to not toss that. Especially because it took like 2 to find something workable, and now we're ending up with a 4 money hand that buys a merchant camp, so even when you draw it's not clear that you get to anything. So on the other hand, this hand cannot be tossed anyway, but also looks good enough to keep. Against another catacombs, interesting. Okay. So now there's a chance to trash an importer. That chance is not taken. Get rid of the moneylender. Yeah, that's fine. I think I would have played it, but on later turns it might be hard to connect them. And this hits 8 comfortably. I'm assuming you trash a copper and you just take it back with treasurer when you need to. I don't think you will province anyway on turns where you're not playing a treasurer. That's not the decks they went for. That does not trash. Okay, so we're thinking about how many merchant camps to top deck. Would be good to deck track to know how many draw cards are down there. Yeah, but if there's one, I don't think you top deck more than one. But maybe you need to take that chance. Okay, so probably really doing the due diligence of checking what they discarded over the turn, so not that straightforward finding out, but yeah, top deck 2 looked nice. Importer still gains Catacombs, so still not in a duchy gaining phase of this game apparently. Interesting to see whether this could just stop, take the key by province. But maybe you want to play one importer. Of course, I'll be quite envious of the 2 desert guides now. Although maybe Marin can make it work to always top deck a draw card, and then you can top deck a village with it. Who gains the catacombs, trashes the catacombs into merchant camp. I'm really not sure. Maybe Oasis might help with setting up a potential top deck. I'm not sure if the draw is enough for that for very long. But it's probably a coin. It's a merchant camp instead. So we get to play 2 importers. Yeah, the key, taking that away makes sense. I'm interested whether Marin does take a duchy along with the province. Yeah. Sangatsu might be able to double duchy province next turn. Of course, that would come with quite the loss of reliability. Yeah, I also expect the duchy. Kind of weird that the gains are limited to the start of turn, but that's what you gotta do now. course, if they keep gaining catacombs, there's also potential win next turn, because you can trash catacombs into the merchant camps. But yeah, that only works when there are 2 catacombs left for the importers to gain, assuming that you need to buy a green card, which is probably the case. So now there's the oasis. We'll see whether it's getting used to set up the next turn, or just use as a coin that discards a victory card. So now you have some options of trashing one importer here if you can't play 2 anyways, or you could trash a catacombs to gain something else, but I don't know what that would be. It's a hideout, interestingly. So this is just deck in hand. Probably taking key. I would definitely trash a copper here to play 2 importers, yeah. Just a different play order. And this needs to be a province, I'm sure. So now tied in points. And both have 2 importers down. We could just shake hands and both double duchy province. I don't see a big advantage for sangatsu anymore, besides the there's also states, yeah, then the state gains with catacombs. That's true, that does kind of favor the second player, I would say. Since if the first one goes for multiple states from catacombs, that probably allows for a longer game for the second player. So is there a way to win? If you gain 2 catacombs, you trash 2. You would need to trash 3 catacombs then into 2 merchant camps, 1 in state, then buy the last catacombs. So that would be a win if you. But trashing 3 catacombs is probably really hard in this deck. Although you have 2 then in your discard in the end, so. You would have some draw left, but maybe that, yeah, probably requires a fortunate draw. So of course, okay, yeah, I'm trusting Freaky on that one. I haven't haven't put much thought into that besides it being a possibility. Don't know how the draw situation looks exactly, but that's probably what I would go for. The other option is just triple duchy here, I guess. Which probably will put Marin in an uncomfortable spot as well, since I don't think there's a good response. If Marin just also gets 3 duchies, then there's the double duchy and then get the last 2 merchant camps option on next turn for sangatsu, so that's also a winning line. It of course requires 1 more turn to kick off, but there are 2 guides still around. The other option of course for Marin would be to just get a province. Which, yeah, if you're playing around that would probably be the better response anyway, and that is, I think, what you need to do, since there's no way of getting points from Marin against triple duchy that isn't dangerous. Unless Nagatsu sees a different line here that just gets 2 duchies or something. But that's really interesting. Gained the first duchy, and pretty sure with that you're kind of locked into your line of getting 3 duchies here, I would think, but okay, there we go. Okay, yeah, trashing a hideout here makes sense. Okay, so here the question is, does Sangatsu trust Marin to get province and trash a catacombs, which should be fairly easy, so I would say this has to be a duchy. No way around it. Also gets an importer down, which is pretty good. Oh, very good, I should say. Yeah, keeping a copper to have a duchy top deck does, yeah, it looks weird not to play the hideout unless you want to buy the province. So I'm not sure what that is about. Of course, Marin's hand isn't very good, and it cannot be improved, so is at the mercy of drawing a village and a catacombs in the next three cards. Yeah, okay. Interesting time to stop to think, but yeah, it goes for the triple duchy line. That means to me it's duchy province time. Could be... Okay, double duchy. Not sure if the second duchy does a lot if you go for the province. If you don't go for the province, I think this just loses. Okay, I mean, sangatsu still can still that, so it doesn't lose right away. But I think, I suppose, might be even easier to end the game with the duchy line than with the last province, so I can see some justification for getting 2 duchies there. But yeah, the problem of course is Marin getting another duchy here means Sangatsu gains 1 of importer, and then should be able to also buy the last one. Then the question just is, can I trash 2 catacombs? But I guess in this deck that's very far from guaranteed now. So you're not playing into that shuffle, right? We're just playing importer and treasurer. Taking the key away for sure. And then is it going to be province or duchy? Yeah, so the question is basically, is duchy to merchant camps easier than a province? And I guess the answer is probably no, so I can see the duchy line. A very nice guide. So the duchy gain was quick this time, so yeah. I think the first catacombs needs to be played anyway, but then you just need to find 2 catacombs and the treasure then in the next 5 cards, where there's also sifting ability in between. So that would, it looks like it's fairly close to a win already here with this hand. You kind of need the 2 hideouts for that, so yeah, no way you toss, right? But you need to toss that one, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, no catacombs here means no win, I guess. So the new target is just province. Yeah, this also doesn't look a lot like province. It is a duchy, but okay. Oh, it's just 7, so yeah, but denying the duchy is pretty good. I mean, I'd be shocked if it wasn't key again. Yeah, I'm not sure that's true. That the duchy is that much better. I think there are quite a few draws that lets Marin just win against this line. Takes the copper, interestingly. I guess wants to play some hideouts and trash nothing. Yeah, and with the taking the duchy here, which I'm fairly sure you do, it means 2 merchant camps in a state and a province are required to win. Of course, without the state you can still tie. So yeah, there's no importer down for sangatsu, but I think Marin should just go for it and gain the merchant camp of importer. Then there's basically 1 trash for the tie and 2 trashes for the win. Of course, sangatsu not having the importer down means one could take a risk and just gain a province and buying province, gaining a catacomb C maybe. The state is safer in the sense that it doesn't leave a losing 3 pile. I guess with 1 trashed merchant camp, 1 trashed catacombs, it would leave a easier win for sangatsu, but then again, the estate is the least important gain, I think, for ending the game. Yeah. And if you're not going for the tie, do you need an estate this turn? I mean, does it mean you're going for the win this turn, or you just want to secure the province this turn and assume sangatsu doesn't? Okay. We're definitely seeing the estate line, so. Okay. There's already 5 coins. Yeah. But I think you play 1 more catacombs for sure. I mean, hitting province should be trivial, right? You just find the treasure. The question is, can you trash 2 catacombs while hitting province? Okay. There's the hideout first. Finds an old witch. So now the quest. This is an interesting decision. Importer would mean you're trying the most for province this turn, while making catacombs means going for the win. Okay, if Marin only has 3 catacombs, then yeah. There's 1 more old witch as draw in the deck, but okay, trash the importer. Okay, so this is province. So there's a catacombs down there, right? So we're not playing the old witch, just get the province. And top deck 1 or 2 camps, probably 2. I mean, it's never not province, right? Not sure. I guess the copper gain was one thing to think about. You definitely top deck 1. You probably top deck 2, I would think. Okay, it is 1. So province wins here, but this isn't close. No, okay, now it is. That's just it. So gaining copper here means Sangatsu winning the first one. Yeah, kind of tense in the end. But Sangatsu got there on their start. I will grab some water, and I hope one of you is joining me when I'm back. Okay, hello, anyone? Unfortunate, okay. Second Kingdom. Just one landscape again. It's ferry. Looks pretty good. Just do we have plus buy this time? Yes. Not a good one, but it is there. Am I missing something, or is there just herbalist? Oh no, there's collection. Collection gives a buy. I did not know that. That's pretty good then. So we just are lacking trashing. But this means we're getting lots of action cards. Assuming Capital City gets ferried first. Das by Marin. So both have a 3-4. This Capital City do enough to hit 5? Yes, right. So you can just open that then. So what I'm expecting to happen is people getting a few collections and then all the capital cities they can get. Then switching over to maybe probably carriages. There's also village green as a synergy with capital city. I'm not sure if that is enough, but yeah, you kind of want sifting anyway, even if it's not net draw, so Yeah, we are still on turn 1. Kind of had a similar pattern in the quarterfinal. But yeah, so what other options are there? There are, of course, some dungeon openings, I suppose. But Ferry is, yeah, fairly strong in Capital City. Also has some sifting. And also that Capital City just hits 5 on the turn you play it. To hit collection, I think, makes it just the best opening. So it does end up being a dungeon. And draw it dungeon silver. Huh. I'm really surprised by that. But drawing both turn 3 is definitely the way to go if you choose that opening. Okay, it does not want a collection here, but a second capital city with some sifting. I can definitely see that. I mean, village greens are some draw here with the discard effect. So I don't think they're more important than capital cities though. You're sifting towards your collections to buy more. Oh, last buy, yeah. I would have expected that at 2, but I mean, I don't think it's terrible to get it here instead. I don't think it's a huge difference. Ooh, getting the collection turn 4 immediately. This could be ferry and then buy the capital city for Sangatsu, so the draw definitely worked out nicely with the dungeon silver open. I mean, pretty sure this is ferry, otherwise the 2 buys aren't that impressive. Yeah. I mean, just buying 2 3 seems to be the most logical thing, and ferry is the best 3, and then whatever 5 cost you can buy for 3 is the best other 3, so the alternatives, dungeon, wishing well, silver, all seem fairly bad. So I can't tell why we are stopping, but we are stopping. I suppose you could ferry village green, but with 1 dungeon in your deck, I don't know why you would. Maybe a second collection is something to consider, but I don't like collections before I have a pile that is cost reduced, so there we go. So we will probably have some very click intensive turns with all those capital city discarding and maybe drawing. So this might be another long one. I would say Marin is quite ahead now with one more capital city, one more collection. But yeah, this hand not that great. Gets a village green, interestingly. Didn't expect that. I would have tried to gain all the cities I can get first, and then change the ferry. But yeah, since you can later also ferry village green, maybe possibly even wishing well for some really cheap collection points. So now we have 7. I mean, I'd be happy with 2 capital cities. I don't think you can really buy three things here and be happy. Maybe if one of them is ferry, but then you don't have ferry on capital city anymore, and that doesn't sound good. So okay, one's green for some extra draw. It's okay. Don't know if the chat is a fan. Okay. Freaky's a fan, can't be too bad. So also 7 and 3 for sangatsu. DZ, what did you expect? We're only 50 minutes in. No, that's a lie. I'm 60 minutes in. So yeah, I mean, I'm fairly sure this will end on a 3 pile eventually. I don't think buying green cards will be worth it, besides distant lands, with all the collection points you can get here on various piles that are good to add to their decks. So but of course it will require some careful pile control later. But oh yeah, like counting. So 2 village greens this time. Another collection from Marin. Yeah, the disparity in play speed is apparent. I like the 3rd collection, especially on a turn where you're not playing 2 and you're not giving up 2 buys. So the ferry for sangatsu is already switched, which of course makes hands like these really nice, where you can get 3. I'm assuming Marin wants some more collections, but I don't know if you can justify going into that shuffle. Well, they can, so here we are. Let's see how far we can get. course, this might be... I don't know what the record is for most villages being bought consecutively without buying any terminal actions, but this might be one of the kingdoms where you can set a record. So 3 capital cities, so I'm expecting the switch now. If you even get some more village greens, I guess the remaining 2, you want the remaining 2. Assuming that Sangatsu just gets 3 here, which I would guess he does. Nope. One more dungeon. Makes some sense. So the points are fairly even so far. I kind of like Marin's deck composition a little bit better, which is just villages. Sangatsu has 2 dungeons and fewer capital cities instead. But yeah, it's not... I don't think it's a runaway lead yet. Of course, Marin also has the 3rd collection, so that is pretty nice. This could be ferry 3 village greens. I don't think that is dangerous in any way, and I like them now. Can get them while you can. Okay. Freaky suggests 1 more capital city instead of 1 village green. Seems also fine. As long as we're not getting anything that isn't a village, I'm happy. Of course, also nice to gain 9 points here. I'm wondering what you want to ferry next. I could see distant lands. Of course, carriages are okay. They're more of the same. But yeah, distant lands of course gives additional points. You can play them and you basically just lose out a copper worth of money if you on the turns you play them. You do have the action space for them. So, and of course emptying that pile also ends the game basically. You should have a point seed if you go for them, I would think, at least in Marin's spot. Sangatsu does not have a good turn and needs to move the ferry. Doesn't want it on an empty pile, I don't think. So yeah, for me it's between distant lands and carriage. I mean, I don't think you have enough buys to justify putting it on the wishing well or something. Just more buys and moves the ferry later. I mean, carriage does the same thing your previous capital cities do, right? So I wouldn't say it's great either, but yeah, my favorite is distant lands, so I'm rooting for that one. I mean, this is surely ferry, right? So you don't need to buy it on a turn where you have 3 collections down. Tricky suggests the wishing valves. Would make use of the additional buy. Gets you some draw at least. We'll see if that's good enough for Marin. Okay, some dungeons. Don't know how many dungeons you want, but I guess it's also not super relevant because game will be always almost over once the dungeons are low. Sangatsu now has the advantage of having one more buy, but also doesn't really get to them. Okay, has some more draw in the tank, so I guess so. Let's see Sangatsu's fairy pile of choice. Yeah, with the extra herbalist buy, I would tend to go for one of the cheaper ones. Of course, you can also just buy 3 wishing wells or something, or even a 5 and 2 3 costs. I guess there's not much reason to ferry this turn. Unless you find all the collections on your next turn, then you might rather have spent the buy here, but I don't know how realistic that is. Yeah, there's pile out potential. I mean, the last 2 capital cities are expensive, but fairy herbalist. Don't think we're quite there yet. But I suppose herbalists are okay in the deck where the herbalists cost 0 and you can just buy all of them. Okay, it's the capital city. That makes piling out quite a bit easier. I don't know if that helps Sangatsu, since he has more buys at the moment. Still taking time. It's 1-0 to Sangatsu. We are minute 75 and game 2. This is gonna be a long match. Yeah. I don't wanna relive the timer discussion, but yeah, if there's a King's Court Odyssey board, then I'm out of here. So we landed on Capital City Collection. Yeah. If it makes you feel better, I don't have to. Maybe that should make you feel more sorry that I don't have to. I don't know. There could be an argument for that. Anyway, we're seeing again some combination of two different villages being played on Marin's turn, and expecting to end up at all the collections. There's one more down there, and yeah, beautiful. I think you discard the village green here, but don't play it. I don't. Yeah, maybe you can just next turn it, since you can. Yeah, it's the same amount of draw, so that's fine. So we're at 11 as well, but with 4 buys. Buying collection could be dangerous, right? Then you're down to 3 gains. Maybe if you pair it with 3 action cards, the point lead would be too big. Yeah, I think now it's triple dungeon or double dungeon wishing well or something. But buying the collection means you want 3 action cards, I'm fairly certain, and that means you do not have any options besides buying 2 dungeons and then either herbalist or 2 herbalists. Yeah, that works. So now we're at surely at pile danger, but this isn't it. Of course, Marin's opening hand doesn't look very promising here. I guess at least it's some points. And are there 2 dungeons coming? There's 1 dungeon coming in. So Sangatsu wants 4 wishing wells here, I think. Needs to score. I don't know if there's a better way to score. I don't think you carry the dungeon and buy those. Could go for herbalists. But it's a 15-point lead. Even if you buy 4 things, it's just 12 points. So Marin is in the lead, which you don't even need to beat to pile out with the collection VP. But right now it costs 15 and 3 buys to pile. I don't think Marin can do that. But yeah, the dungeons are quite a bit cheaper than the two collections, although they cost quite some buys. They also got some herbalists, so I'm fairly confident Marin will be able to win this. Even if you just get 5 buys in this turn, you could just get 15 points. And so yeah, I'm assuming Marin will just buy every dungeon that is possible. Ah, yeah, there we see the wishing wells. Makes sense. Okay, this looks already pretty decent. Would be for sure nice to find 1 more buy. And there's that. I mean, 15 is probably still out of reach. Oh, this is a bit awkward. I don't want to discard any buys. I'd rather just buy 6 dungeons. Oh, how much? That's 10. Yeah, I disagree with that herbalist toss, but yeah, I'm definitely hoping to see some aggressive points play here. So it could be 6 dungeons with a lot of points. I don't think Sangatsu can do anything against that, so of course it can be Capital City and the dungeons. So 1 herbalist instead of the copper in hand now would be pretty good. as in winning. Yeah, I also don't think there's like a careful play that isn't just buying 6 actions. Even though it doesn't win right now. Because your opponent will be able to pile anyway, I think, if they can surpass your score. So yeah, I'd be happy with Capital City, 5 dungeons or 6 dungeons. I don't think, yeah, you're doing anything else. If your opponent wins, then it's because they buy 6 Herbalists, 7 Wishing Wells or something. Not because you... And that's probably not even winning, right? Yeah, so I guess on 7 buys it might be, or it might be tying. What does... I mean, this CC costing one not be... okay, I'm very confused. Why are we switching to Wishing Wells? Yeah, I'd rather have the 4 points than whatever this is. Especially now you still have 2 buys. I mean, at least you keep them both on 4, right? But this seems like not the play. Okay, now it's 2 more Herbalists. So there's a 23-point difference with 7 buys and 4 collections. That's an easy win. I mean, 6 buys would be enough if they hit... Yeah, just 6 buys, right? Required on the Wishing Wells and Capital Cities. That just costs 11. Okay, it's very fortunate that this didn't work out. I don't know how fortunate that is. Sangatsu hasn't been drawing as well as Marin the whole time, so I think might just be a difference in draw. Okay, so that not winning here means probably might as well resign. I'm sure Sangatsu won't, but I don't really see a good line that gets you out here. I mean, how do you even play for that? Yeah, So do we blame the Dungeon Silver opening over the Fairy Capital City? I do, but... Everything after, okay. That's a lot. Okay, carriage. So that's the fourth capital city. Rather buys another herbalist and 2 wishing wells for points. I'm not sure. So surely we see a win here. I mean, okay, it's not the most promising start. Do you toss the dungeons here? Maybe now the 17-point lead gives Marin some confidence to just hammer down the wishing wells. And oh yeah, that's enough with the fairy move to herbalist. So we got there 1 turn late, but we got there. And so the score is even after 90 minutes of play and 2 games. So my hourly question, if anybody is brave enough to join me on the stage before we go into game 3, which has fairy again, also masquerade stockpile, then a magic lamp. The village is again a merchant camp hideout, interestingly. So yeah, quite explosive, I would say. So the masquerade open seems very clear. I'm personally a fan of delaying stockpile to second shuffle often. Like here you could pair it with a hideout, for example, your mask. To get thin real quick, magic lamp has a fairly easy time to pop with pouch as well as second heirloom. So I would try for an early activation, I think. Can still use stockpiles afterwards even. Yeah. Of course, there are quite a few viable things to open with, but yeah, the Masquerade seems fairly obvious. Bought the Masquerade on 4, so no 4 cost for Sangatsu. Expecting a stockpile then. Marin has a 5-2, but with a buy. I don't know if you want a tracker. I suppose you could ferry, but that also doesn't do that much, I think. But you might as well, right? If you want to open something that you want ferried. Yeah, like second mask is fine, so. So there's the stockpile paired with it. I guess you can buy a second mask then now. Mask opening. Sometimes work out, not this time unfortunately. Okay, merchant camp tracker. Some uniques for lamp, I guess. I don't know if the tracker does enough here otherwise. I could see a merchant camp or hideout. Yeah, goes for that. So your Sangatsu has 4, could also get a hideout, maybe second mask. But there are also some other things, right? You can get some stockpiles back. Cave and Vessel are also fine for the lamp thing. Yeah, goes for the hideout. Yeah, merchant camp also makes sense. I would have top decked it if the lamp was in the other hand. Probably this way you just play it. I mean, what's your plan after popping the lamp? I would think you'd get a few council rooms. Some golds, maybe via bandit. So yeah, I think here I would just get a cave for the... Ah, okay, stockpile is also fine. Doesn't help with the lamp, but it's a good card, so... Is this an activation? Barely. 5. So yeah, of course, council room would also be fairly good now, if you can afford one the next turns. I think I prefer cave a bit over Vassal, but yeah, I can see either way. Second mask is also okay to get through the garbage. So this is 4 again. Another mask, interesting. Oh yeah, I bet they would like to hit 5 on one of these turns. Are all the stockpiles in the exile or something? Oh, okay. They're just hiding. Okay, so they're getting fairly thin, but with the Merchant Cap Masquerade, you're not really drawing anything. So, yeah. The hand size is still an issue until you get a console room. Okay, I really expected this to be a bit more explosive. We're on turn 7 now. Not quite getting where we want to, I would say. Okay, sacrifice. I suppose you can get rid of one of your masks that way and hopefully have one good turn, but long term I have trouble seeing the use for the Masquerade. I guess you have some weaker action cards that you can get rid of. Yeah. So now the question is, do you want to go for the activation next turn for sure, or do you want to get and buy like a Secret Cave or get the stockpiles back? I think I would be okay with the stockpiles. Surely you can get there anyway next turn with a console room. The interesting thing about Tracker is you might be able to top deck a Copper as Masquerade defense once you're really clean. Yeah, it should be enough. But get Secret Cave. I mean, the cave doesn't do a lot overall, but fine to have for now, I'd say. Okay. Okay, tracks the deck well. I don't know if I would have played that mask. I'm not sure why they didn't top deck the cave. Maybe they wanted to make sure to draw the copper or whatever they were passing. Also, the sand should be good enough. Considering the time he took, I'm sure he knew what was down there. So I guess we're contemplating whether we need the copper now. I would expect a merchant camp and a stockpile here. Oh, I got one right for a change. Expecting the council rooms to be wished for. So one turn later Sangatsu also gets there. Interested to see how much further they will build, or whether just couple goals, couple council rooms and calling it a day was the right move. Yeah, that's the thing. It's really important to get the lamp thing going, so I see why they went conservative. So if you play Merchant Camp and Council Room from a 5-card hand, you're at 7 cards and your opponent at 6, so it's basically just drawing 1. I suppose it gives you coin in the buy as well, but it's not the most exciting draw. And of course you need to line them up, so you could see stopping at 1 province a turn or at a province plus some other thing. Of course, as long as there are stockpiles, you could go for one more stockpile each turn, play him, rebuy him, but that of course leaves you with an economic hole to fill later. I mean, the vessels are good if you're not planning on using goals as payload or stockpiles, I guess. Otherwise, missing might hurt quite a bit. So also, I'm not sure if discarding for Secret Cave is worth it, but I mean, the 3 coins, but maybe it didn't cost that much. So all the 3 wishes are top decked. So I would expect Copper to be top deck with that then, and a Merchant Camp, of course. I already have a Copper top deck. Okay, so then that makes sense, the cave discarding. I just didn't pay too close attention to that. Border a Merchant Camp, that also makes sense. Where did the curse come from? Did someone buy a curse? Ah, from the hideout. So yeah, surely the first wish is a council room. I could see a bandit being gained here as well. Of course you can't trash the lamp anymore, but just as gold gainer. Are we trashing the other mask as well? I think the first mask was the most important. I could see sacrificing the mask to draw to the end and then gain one bandit of the wish and keep one wish for harder times. Okay, play speed is getting more similar. Okay, playing the cave here. Yeah, to draw the gold, that makes sense. So that's quite a bit of money, right? Could be province stockpile to me. I don't care too much, but yeah, that would work with still having 11. So yeah, why not? Might as well discard. And it depends on what you want to buy, right? Don't think it costs that much. The discard itself costs you 2 coins this turn. Ferry to merchant camp. Huh. That's something I did not expect. Surely we're buying 1 stockpile? No, yeah, okay. Yeah, that's the issue with building a lot here. That I guess you can still hope for the second council room draw. Passing the cave is whatever. Might require a merchant camp to be sacrificed, which is also fine. Okay, so Sangatsu has some options. Of course, Bandit is a one way. Okay, there are 2 stockpiles in the exile, so yeah, could get them back. And draw them all, of course. He also gets rid of the additional mask. Oh, that's not a... I guess it doesn't hurt that much, but it means you're not doing any cave things this turn. Discards, I mean. At least that's what I would think, but maybe. Okay, so that was the last wish, right? This guy, trashing pouch is okay. I don't think that hurts that much. Bit annoying maybe when the stockpiles run, but yeah, the stockpiles will do run. And the merchant camps are basically gone, but I don't think there's a 3 pile. Imminent afterwards. Maybe someone can get estates. Yeah, the mask is saves the turn a bit, but yeah, really want the cons room. Yeah, I suppose there are 5 masks in a pile. I don't know how many buys you get to after the stockpiles go. Maybe on the last pile turn where you do have stockpiles. Yeah, I like the empty stockpile this turn. Being the last to get them is nice. Of course, buying 3 extra hurts a bit, but otherwise it will become cheap for your opponent to do so. Yeah, fleet stops, of course, a lot of 3-pile shenanigans, but I don't think they're in danger this turn. But of course, it still might be the best opportunity to buy it. I can see that, especially because the stack is again feels weird to me in a sense that you are not really. There aren't that many cards that you happily add to your deck, I guess. I would say. So, just buying the fleet on such a turn could also. I can see it. Yeah, so. Okay. It's again coming up to the 3-minute mark on the one decision. I think we might need to start lobbying for a timer for tournament games. Fingers crossed for next year. Okay, we see some action. Counselor room. Okay, apparently we're just resetting the timer and So you still need 8 gains, right? You can pass the curse to get a points lead, but 3 merchant camps, 5 masks would be the... I don't think... That's like 18 and 8 buys for Marin. I would be surprised if... Oh, they have a wish. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Okay, merchant camp. Doesn't really matter if you top deck or top deck the later one. A duchy, huh? Yeah, fleet seems quite a bit better than duchy. Yeah, I can't think of a reason why you'd rather have the duchy. So we had 22 and 6 buys. I mean, you need one stockpile. Probably need some green off lead. Yeah, so maybe it's not thinking time, maybe it's doing 3 other things at the same time that takes so much time. Okay, there's the stockpile. That one was easy. So you could empty stockpiles, get province fleet, for example. The problem is, what is your money the turn after that? Yeah. Yeah, you don't need the province, it's true. Yeah, the decks don't really get more consistent no matter what they buy. I guess you could top deck one counts from every turn when you have a tracker, but yeah, you draw up to 7. Yeah. So okay, there's the fleet. At least you had 14. 6 for stockpile, and either province or the merchant camp counts room thing seems fine. I guess. Yeah, the merchant camp might be yeah. The question is how much. Like, can Sangatsu end by fleet and then be in a better spot? That part, I don't know. Seems a bit like, yeah. Just dependent on the initial draw. I mean, you don't need to score, right? You just need to score on the fleet turn, and more than your opponent can. Okay, secret cave. That's interesting buy. Okay, so Marin doesn't have a council room and passes a bandit. Yeah, that makes sense. So it's one draw to find a council room. Yeah, there's some like half outs that could lead into something good, but of course Sangatsu doesn't know that, so off of the information Sangatsu has, he might be a bit scared and try to green more. Yeah. Win in hand is, there's no way. There's fleet on the other side. So so of course these stockpiles are gone for permanently after playing them. I guess you could play 2 bandits here to keep some income, but the number of buys also goes down, so might look like we're going towards provinces next. What's the reason to play this merchant camp? I guess you want to play 2 bandits and a tracker, maybe the council room. I guess you could trash 1 bandit here, right? Seems hard to play them both consistently. Yeah, I agree with green and fleet. So is there the trashing decision? Is there anything else that Bandit can trash? Yeah, I don't know if I am also half there. It feels like it's 2.5 hours my concentration break. So I'm also having trouble paying attention to. Ooh. Yeah, that button is there for quite a while now, I think. I'm wondering what the percentage win increase you can get out of these, let's say, micro optimization. Like if you think about 2 minutes in a spot, what does the third minute give you on average? I doubt it's a lot. I mean, yeah, I see what you're saying, Freaky. It definitely would work against me. I would just zone out and do something else on my opponent's turn if it took that long. So it's kind of effective. Also, yeah, I would say there is a speed which is too slow, which isn't slow playing, which we are seeing right now. Right? I mean, of course, my taste was, or my preference for how quickly one should play is faster than average, probably. But yeah, I mean, I think there could also be some try runs where there when one could play asynchronously and just do your turn and like play one turn a day on your game. And then people who want to think 50 minutes during their turn, they can do that, and people who don't need to wait for them. Oh, there's a accounts room flipped. Has he only one council room? One other? Yeah, so I think that should be fine then. I mean, one could also start with a rule that you're just allowed to click the make someone resign button, or maybe the second time in the match after you won them the first time. Then that would already give you an incentive not to risk that. Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean 60 seconds per decision sounds more than enough, that's true. Be a bit sad if I got some water and got resigned after that, but that's something I would be willing to bear for having 60-minute matches then instead of 300. Yeah, 1 copper was bought, I think, or gained. We had 2 heirlooms. Although Marin doesn't have either of their heirlooms anymore. Ooh, Earth Gift. That screams for another minute to contemplate. Also, the amount of money here isn't really impressive, is it? Marin had 22 last turn, and also yeah, last turn was a while ago. This actually, I did not expect this game to be the longest one. Yeah, okay, it was a joke about thinking about the Earth gift that long, but I guess it isn't. I mean, you need fleet, you need... yeah, probably need a province. So, there isn't even any forecast that any... I guess you could think about vassal, I suppose. That might be interesting. Yeah, sacrifice could also be okay. Just to potentially salvage a turn that starts off badly. I mean, Marin can still win this match, so there's hope for the final. Okay, there's fleet. Sacrifice. Copper. Province? Surely, right. Okay. We got there. So, over under for Marin's turn now. So, second council room was found. Can get to the end here fairly easily. Might not gain and play the gold. But yeah, lots of money in hand. So this is 30? 31? But yeah, 18 of that is very temporary. I guess 32 with the copper you get. Ah, passes copper, huh? Trashes curse, interesting. Yeah, they trashed the card, so it's not 4 provinces anymore. It was only if they passed the curse, kept the copper they got. There I don't really want anything besides provinces. So I would be happy with 3 provinces, and okay, I'm amazed by the speed we're playing here. I mean, 3 provinces, keep 2 stockpiles and call it. Sounds fine to me. Yeah. Yeah, we have some eccentric players on the playing field that do take their time. On the bright side, it might end in 5 games. So expecting only 2 more hours. Yeah. I don't know if many people consciously do that. I wouldn't accuse them of that, but I mean, it's a non-timed tournament, so yeah, I would. We're all hoping for infrastructure that gets used by the admins. So we're at 25. So the 3 provinces can be bought. Yeah, the problem is how do you not get bored by playing slower? That's a secret I'm still after. Yeah. That's why that reinforcement hadn't worked for me so far. Okay, so we're down to 3 council rooms. But of course we get 2 fleet turns. Yeah, and some people love Dominion because it's 100-minute games. Okay, this looks like a very fortunate Seas gift. Does not come to rescue. So yeah. Yeah, with this turn, doesn't even buy. Well, I guess we're seeing a second duchy. I mean, also Marin also kind of wanted some draw, right? The opening hand doesn't look super promising either. Yeah, for sure. It's like the merchant camp. You have too many of them anyway. So that's good in 2 ways. Yeah, maybe we can force Steph to watch this recording, and we might get a timer within a week. Yeah, I think you do a set timer of like 5 minutes, or maybe even less than 5, and then like 10 per decision. But your total time gets capped at the time you had at the beginning, so you can't store an hour worth of time by clicking fast, but you would cap at like 5 minutes total timer at a time. I mean, other games have time per turn, and that doesn't really translate well into Dominion games, so I think per decision is fine. I mean, that's where the cap... Wait, percentile? Yeah, top 10% I would be fine with, but yeah, but we also haven't seen tournament stuff in a while. Okay, something happened in the game. Hideout and copper. Wait, okay, we're not sacking the merchant camp, we are buying a province. Okay, marriage does better. Top deck in the merchant camp was good. Yeah, I think with Freaky you can probably get like 8 games in half an hour or something without trying too hard. At least on ladder. Oh, that... Yeah, I mean, it's clear that in lower elo they complain if you take 30 seconds in the opening, because they play very casually. That's at least a lot of that archetype of player. So for sure the lower you go, the kind of faster you get. Okay, so it's 21 to 18 points. I'm wondering how many duchies will Marin get on this turn with the 2 provinces. I guess you need to find a village first before thinking about that. Okay, there are villages. Are 3 duchies in the cards? One would hope, right? But that's a lot of money. Yeah, that's 31, right? That seems not right. I guess 2 provinces are already at 30, so 1 duchy with it should be pretty good already. Do you want to buy a council room? Does that net you more than a duchy on expectation? It might. I'm not sure. Since the point gaining opportunities will be limited. Sangatsu will say no, unfortunately. Yeah. I don't know, isn't there a quote or movie or something that says something like, "Don't threaten me with a good time"? I think that would be would be appropriate here. So yeah, double that. Okay, yeah, now the question is top deck council room or another duchy? I mean, yeah, I would also say the request is reasonable because they can deterministically find it out. I guess they can make a mistake in tracking. But it's funny, Marin asked and then just didn't bother. After my opponent said no, I think I would have gotten something to eat and then played the card. But okay, so what does and the question would never be asked because Sangatsu would have lost this game already. So if Sangatsu would get 6 duchies, I don't think he can. 5 duchies are 36, so that's pretty bad. You kind of need all of them, I think. Yeah, but if you get 6 duchies, it's I mean, where should that money come from? Yeah, I do agree. Like, the duchy just ends, right? It's 36. Then Sangatsu gets 5 duchies and is still tying. So I think the duchy was right. So what are we at? 22, right? So yeah, we could think about it, or we could just buy 4 duchies in an estate now, and I guess that's not even... Yeah, that's 34, right? It's not like you can gain and play an attack or something here. I guess the masquerade pass is important. You could not play it. At least these buys are not that difficult. And this is officially a break by Marin. So we are at 2-1 and we're going to a Marin start. Oh, I will play that turn out as well. Yeah. I mean, I think one of the players embraces the villain role a bit here, so I'll try to hide my excitement. But I will get some more beverages and a little snack, so I will be right back. Please someone come to me and entertain me once I'm back. If anybody's still here, even. Hello, hello. Oh. I need to friend DZ, apparently. I can't DZ. DZ is here, but DZ... DZ is here, okay. My bad. Okay, I think we are going to a new table. Okay. Moving tables. Yeah. Start again. Can we interpret it 2 ways? I'm down to keep playing starting game 4. Fortunately, I got some caffeine with me, so hopefully we'll make it through the remaining 4 games. Ooh, a governor game. Hard to imagine that taking long. Okay, so we have village, we have lots of draws, we have lots of gains. Yeah, that should be over. Turn 8, turn 9, over under. I guess the trashing is, yeah, this student. Over under 90 minutes, yeah, that's a tough one. Turn 9 is too late or too early? Ironworks opening. I think I would have opened silver student, but okay, I expected maybe potion or something here, maybe, or the silver now, but the second ironworks. I mean, I disagree that. Yeah, I agree that potion doesn't look very good, or alchemist, but if you get an ironworks, what are you doing with it? I think Wayfarer will draw. Okay. The Wayfarer does actually convince me that Ironworks is decent here. Gain Hamlet by Wayfarer. Silvers of Wayfarer are really nice to turn into 5s. So you should clean up your coppers easily, so. I am happy with that. Still, the second Ironworks doesn't look good. As I say that, they also got 2 students. So how does the rest of the pile look? Lich looks weak, Sorcerer doesn't do a lot, Conjurer, is fine, I guess. Yeah, we are emptying the ironworks. I guess that's a mole engine? Okay, we moved into the 2 estates. I guess that's peddler thing. So there are some card synergies that do something. I wouldn't say they're great. But look at that, now we have basically only moles in deck. Yeah, I expected the Wayfarer thing to do with the governors. The storyteller, of course, also nice. Especially because this deck will never buy anything, right? Until you get a Wayfarer. Yeah, I'm also not literate in the allies. I have to click on them every game. And yeah, Market Town does let you play terminal actions, which they have none of. Oh, we're not even playing the Peddler we got. I guess we can buy... Oh, we can buy Peddler then Wayfarer. See, that's the synergy we're hoping for. Yeah, I think we're just all watching the game in twice the speed. Yeah. Do not jinx under any circumstances. Yeah. I'm surprised. Governor is one of the cards that I also have had banned for the past 5 years, so... But I remember it being quite good and often centralizing. And this seems like a board for it, where at least the remodel and the gold thing is great. You don't need to use it to draw. But I guess on a tight mole deck, it's a little bit more difficult. Yeah. What's the triangle? The pick 2 out of 3 Dominion triangle. Good, fast, and what's the last one? Interesting, I guess. What is cheap? The game is. Yeah, I still don't fully comprehend. Cheap is not the opposite of good in this context. It's a different dimension, but like, how can the play be cheap? Or is it just about something else than play? Yeah, that's the regular triangle is good quality, price, and time, I think, yeah. But I think it needs to be modified for Dominion play to work. So what turn are we? It's turn 7. First pile is gone, and we have 2 cheap piles to go. Oh yeah, I mean the game is cheap in a sense when you log in on Dominion.games, but my frame of reference was watching 2 players play in the semi-final of the championship. So what would be the sacrifice there if we see fast and good plays? Not expensive to watch them. At least if we ignore opportunity cost. Oh, true. Yeah, that's actually a good one. The chat calling out the better plays is easier if they play slower or badly. So the chat knows all thing is lost for spectators, and thus the chat quality might suffer. Okay, so you have the choice between Peddler and Wayfarer or Double Peddler, right? That's the only 2 options. Yeah. I mean, I actually quite like the Dominion chat in terms of quality. There are often some cool plays pointed out, a lot better than other places. Depends. I think that's the what function is that? The more players, the less likely it is, and it doesn't go to 0. It just goes near 0, I suppose, or near a set amount of chance. Yeah, then easily. It's only when the Twitch chat spams curse opener, then it's going to be tough. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, right. They didn't buy Peddler. Are they afraid of 12 gains? How many views does Sangatsu have right now? I bet it's like 8. Also, it's not 12 games, and the game since Ironworks can be autopilot. I mean, you can stream Dominion dot game is for the sweet ad revenue. You just need to be a Twitch streamer first, and then start playing Dominion, not the other way around. I mean, I'm pretty sure there have been like 3 or 4 bigger Dominion streamers who at least streamed it once. Yeah, Sox did basically play Twitch plays Dominion. Yeah. The good thing about Twitch chat is that the average advice is so bad that it's not really an issue. Okay, we're going for the win here as Marin. I mean, Twitch chat can do that the same way you can do that as well by just spectating yourself. So it's a huge thing, I would say. Of course, you can't name your alt account DZ then, but yeah, I'd be also a little bit afraid that if I played in like quarterfinal, semifinal in a Dominion thing here, there are 30 people in chat. I mean, nobody will know if there's an alt account of your opponent there, so so somehow this is supposed to win. We're like 4 gains short, so that's pretty bad. Okay, there are some more gains. Gain estate, gain ironworks, and then 15 viewers. Look at that. I can't imagine how many started watching in the beginning. So you gain the ironworks. You could buy 1 peddler and then 4 wayfarers. So you need this wayfarer to draw into the ironworks, right? Normal ironworks to gain 1 wayfarer, but you're still losing. It's still a losing tie, right? So that's also not that good. You could also play the wayfarer normally, right? You have market towns to, so that's 1 more draw. But I don't know if there's more than 1 ironworks even in the discard. There should be 1 ironworks in there, no? Or are these all the ironworks that were gained already? Yeah. But it is the fastest game of the match, so that is what we've got going for us. By far. The problem is here Marin kind of played himself into a very dark corner that is hard to get out of now, I think. So it felt like he was ahead, at least to me. I don't know if that was a 50-50. Seems one game short to me, but now's the time for another state. Yeah, I do know that, but you gain an Ironworks, and you play next Ironworks to gain a Peddler, and then you buy 5 Wayfarers, and then you lose on the tie. Yeah, so since the deck doesn't have as much money as we would have predicted at the start of the game. They are roughly on 2 money in total in deck, I think. And they are also molding away their precious peddlers, which would have doubled their money. So now we also have 2 bad cards on top right, but it's not like we get another turn, so yeah, the duchy costs a lot. Ooh, Conjurer and a Peddler. Wait. How many Peddlers are we allowed to take? I mean, you can still play. You could have played the Wayfarer first and then market down the Ironworks, and that would still draw for you. Just shows the other order. Or are we talking about the silver from Wayfarer? Maybe I'm confused. So now it's 6 gains. Let's see if Sangatsu does the same shenanigans. Yep. So we had 4 buys. Discard the Ironworks here, yeah. So Peddlers are down, we need 1 more buy for the state. Right, so probably, yeah, okay. There we go. Oh, we need 2 states, right? So that was a bit of a premature celebration, but yeah, okay. I think we got there. So we guaranteed ourselves a game 6. because now it's 2-2. Yeah, I had a different vision for the 9-turn game, but maybe the moral meta hasn't caught up to the non-semifinalists among us. Yeah. I also agree with the 4 AVP plan. So, okay, it looks like we need a timer till tomorrow. Add Steph, add Siviri, please. Oh, we are not done yet, potentially. That's a good point. Especially for Sangatsu, it's basically tomorrow, right? Already? But Marin still has some hours left. Yeah. Problem is if they start at the same time, then they won't be able to finish the Sunday in Japan. Then it's gonna be Monday. .40 UTC, that's later than today. Okay, I will stop the recording then. I'm very impressed by anyone who's made it this far, and hopefully there will be another video covering the rest of the match, which will be 2 to 3 games. See you then, and potentially in the final.